India drifts in the wrong direction. This is Dr. David D. Shine. Welcome to the special episode of Saving America. And we're talking about the relationship between the United States and India, and frankly, India and the rest of the world, in light of the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the commission of war crimes there. And it's very hard for many Americans to understand why India, generally regarded as a close friend of the United States and the British colonies and so forth, would not jump up and say, yeah, we're on board with the sanctions for Russia. And in fact, India abstained at a recent UN vote to sanction Russia. And I think a lot of Americans were surprised. Well, one of the things is that India actually uses Russian military equipment, and they're concerned about their neighbor, Pakistan. And because of that, they want to maintain a strong military, and they need to be able to buy parts from Russia. Well, of course, Russia's industrial operations were dependent on other countries and are largely shut down. So I'm not sure how well India is going to get resupplied if it needs parts from Russia. But in any event, this is part of the ongoing soap opera between a country that has generally been regarded as one of our partners. But one of the things is that India is very happy. Remember, India is not a wealthy country. India is very happy to get discounted Russian oil, and they're not going to feel morally bad about it because, after all, a lot of NATO countries are still buying Russian oil and gas. So India says, why should we be shamed into it when, these other folks are doing it? So I think that's kind of interesting. And again, they've got a stronger financial need to get that oil and gas from Russia. And then part of the challenge is that India is very supportive of the United States because they are even more concerned about China than the United States. But the Indian people see things differently than the people in the United States. Some of the things that they're concerned about vis-a-vis the United States is the victory for the Taliban in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is not that far from India. Yeah, and Pakistan helped out with the terrorists. The instability in Pakistan, partially because they've got terrorists running in and out of the country, doesn't make for a strong country. The civil war in Myanmar, a country that is not super far away. You may recall that Myanmar, also known as Burma, had a violent military coup. Eventually, they created a Democrat government, and then they have thrown the Democrat government into prison, and the crazies have taken over the country again. So not a lot of stability there. There's a political crisis in Sri Lanka. I didn't even know about that until I was doing my research for this piece, because we get so little coverage of Sri Lanka and some of the other smaller Asian countries. And then China continues to threaten on India's northern and northeastern boundaries. None of this is good news for India. So India wants to see a strong United States if they're going to continue to back the United States and be our ally. So this is a difficult situation with Russia looking to China for more support. One of the things that I came up in my research I thought was interesting is India is overwhelmingly a Hindu country. In fact, part of the reason that the Brits, when the British Empire broke up Pakistan and India, was to put the Muslims in Pakistan and the non-Muslims into the bulk of India. And so, if you go back and look at the historical development, post-World War II, basically. But, one of the things is that being pushed either in the direction of Muslims or in the direction of Christianity is not comfortable for India. So we need to pay more attention to our big brother over in the Asian subcontinent of India, but it's not going to be an easy trail. And I think the United States needs to show some sensitivity to it. This is Dr. David D. Shine. Thanks for joining us for this special episode of Saving America. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite platform.